Should we begin? Well, if you have watched my last video, then you clearly know what is being talked about in this thing. If not, I will link the video in the I button above. You can go check it out. Anyways, my sole point in making this video was not to talk about that day's match, because if that, then in the next I would have uploaded a video doing a match preview. Yes, in this video I am going to talk about the match. Not only that, what is the future of this club. Hold on, let us get it together. See, if you have watched the match, then you probably know how the match got played, and if you haven't, let me just give you an idea the way the match was played. It was very much evident that the 16th place team in the Premier League is playing against the 17th place team in the Premier League, and just below them 18, 19 and 20 are relegated from first division, or rather the Premier League. And I think there was so much at stake for these two clubs for the Europa League final. Both of these two clubs were having one of their worst seasons, or rather the worst season. And there was one single hope. You know what? One single hope. And what was that? The winner of the final is going to play in next season's Champions League. Not only a big plus point in the transfer market, but also the amount of revenue that would generate for a club. Only qualifying for the Champions League ensures a guaranteed £15.4 million for the club. Keeping apart the group stage performances, a win or a draw. Then the knockout stages. Let us not go into that far, because the way these two teams played this time, I didn't see much hope for either of them in the next season's UEFA Champions League. But football is a bit strange. Miracles do happen. But still, Tottenham ultimately won the match. And there is a saying in sports defense wins you championships. And probably Tottenham Hotspur's defense, the goal line clearance or their goalkeeper, and even certain defensive performances helped them win their long-awaited, much sought-after European trophy after 17 long years. And congratulations to them. Coming to my beloved club, or the biggest club of England, according to many people, Manchester United, they lost. And this is not the first time we are losing a European final, or rather any cup final. But there is something more than losing a final. Nothing more than the disappointment that it brings to supporters like us, or people who watch football. Because the people who have started watching football 10-15 years back, or rather more than that, they have seen the achievements that this club has done. And you know what? For the last 10 or 15 years, 15 years is a long time, but rather for the last 10 years, the changes that has been made in this club, the amount of careers that have been wasted or destroyed cannot be counted. I remember there was a player who used to play for Man United, Donny van de Beek. Do you remember? Do you remember something? Donny van de Beek, go and search about him in Wikipedia. How much of a promising talent he was, and yet how he got wasted at Man United. Coaches. I know you will be talking I am defending Erik ten Hag, but if you have seen how his Ajax side played in the 2018-2019 season, not only the domestic leagues, Rather, in the UEFA Champions League, where they almost probably made it to the final and maybe would have won the title that year. And at that time, what was Erik Ten Hag was the most sought after coach. He was the most talked about coach in the world. And Man United, being Man United, managed to sign him with the hope, giving fans the hope that this guy is going to bring back the glory days. The modern way of playing football, the positional football, the positional masterclass that has been lacking in this club. And even though we saw certain glimpses of it, we won 2 trophies, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Again, just sort of humor, because just those 2 domestic trophies aren't sufficient to describe a club like Man United, who has been fighting for Premier Leagues and winning European trophies, where legends like David Beckham, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Cristiano Ronaldo, Peter Schmeichel, Edwin van der Sar, and many more, George Best, Rio Ferdinand, just to name a few. The list goes on and on and on. The legendary team of Sir Bobby Charlton, the one team who defied the odds in the Munich game, the one who did the miracle in the UEFA Champions League final against Bayern Munich. That team has come down to this. Also, I remember when Jose Mourinho was in charge of Man United, he has said one thing, for him, the greatest achievement at that time was finishing second with that Man United squad and probably winning the Europa League as well. Right now, and even countless players, Jadon Sancho. Because you know what? Because the certain players that they have currently gone from this team, because if you are following football, Napoli have been crowned the Serie A champions. And guess what? Who was the most valuable player or nominated by Serie A as the MVP of the league? Scott McTominay, a Man United reject who left the club just a season back and led Napoli to glory. It won't get finished. It would go on and on. And right now, we have another promising manager. I know before being linked with Man United, when Jurgen Klopp had already announced his departure from Liverpool, then I think he was linked with the club. I think even he came to England at that time because he had the dream of working in Premier League, and I think he almost signed with I may not be correct, probably Aston Villa or West Ham. But however, that deal didn't go through, and he went back to Portugal to coach Sporting Lisbon. And right now, when Erik Ten Hag was sacked, United once again managed to get another promising manager aboard, with giving fans the hope, this is the man who is going to bring back the glory days. This is the man who is going to take this club to the pinnacle of success. Listen, the point of talking all about this is not about blaming the managers or the players, because I know these players, when they'll go to another club, they will suddenly start performing at their level best. Antony, he was being trolled like nothing else, and yet he has been the best player for Real Betis. When Antony joined, Real Betis was, I think, 11th in their table. Right now, they are 5th, I think, or 6th or 7th, and they are in the final of their first ever European competition. I don't know what will be the outcome, but there is something wrong with this club, honestly speaking. And if you have seen Alejandro Garnacho's post, our homegrown talent, you know what I'm talking about. So, what is the future? What can this club lead to? What leads ahead in the next season? I think Matheus Cunha has been linked with Man United, and just every other year, there are hopes that someone is going to change the fortunes of this club. And I believe this wait is going to continue and continue. For a football fan, rather a Man United fan, who is going to keep on supporting this club. And I think the video is going too long. And just to end it, before ending it, congratulations Tottenham Hotspur. This has been the year of the first time winners. Bologna, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, and just a small prediction from my side for the Champions League final. I think PSG are going to make it. A very big congratulations to them after so many project changes. If it happens, it will be a thing to learn from, how to change a project, how a football organization works. And even after being that close, I remember during the 2020 season, they went to the final and lost by 1-0 to Bayern Munich. And yet they're once again back at the final of the biggest competition in the world, club football, the UEFA Champions League final. That is a separate thing. We might talk about in another video. So this video is this for now. Let me know what you think. What can happen to this club? Or will our club ever come back to its pinnacle? That's it for now, guys. If you liked my video, if you agree with what I have said, you know what to do. We'll meet again soon, brothers and sisters.